Hi there, sub shredders. My name is Logan, aka Spider Hands, and this is just a very quick video that is meant to sort of answer when people ask, do I review this music, or do I review this type of music, or do I do anything? Just, I do. I will review music that you send through. I don't mind the genre. I don't care about the style necessarily. As long as it's not something that's going to get me banned on YouTube because of the content, usually it's chill. You know, I can't guarantee I have an equal knowledge across all of the genres, but I know enough about fundamentals of music and songwriting and production and vocals and instrumental parts and stuff like that to be able to piece together a reasonably coherent feedback on a wide variety of stuff. And I've been doing that now for thousands of songs across the last few years. I should note that this also includes AI music, though what I will say simply just for my comment on it is that while I will review AI music, I have an issue with the way that the AI models have been created and the way that they have, as I understand it, and I could be wrong, taken people's copyrighted material and used that for their learning models in order to teach them how to make that music that people prompt and stuff like that. I have an issue with that. I think that they needed to ask for permission before they did it, if that is the case. And I would prefer most of all, above anything else, that people make their own stuff and just try and have their own stamp on their music, whether it is a single, an EP, an album, like a 30-second track or a 30-minute one. Just as a reviewer, I think in this day and age, it's just so competitive that you literally cannot get away with having something anonymous with people caring. It's so brutal to make something that doesn't have something to hold on to. There is already so much amazing, incredible music that if you just go and put something else out there that is just people can't relate to, or that it just doesn't have a spark or something unique or original about it, it's like you can release it and it's valid and that's awesome. But then if you can't expect people to want to have anything to do with that. It's it's having a career with music is effectively figuring out your business strategy, what work stuff works and what doesn't. And a lot of the time, what helps people to avoid becoming too business oriented with their music is simply having great bones to begin with, having a style of music that they do incredibly well, a way of, when people hear it, knowing it's them. Unfortunately, a lot of the time it's vocals, having the lead front person telling the stories. And so for if you're not a vocalist, it can be trickier. But you look at a band like Polyphia, for example, who just phenomenal instrumental music and they just bounced and took off. Even, I suppose, if you don't want to be known or don't want to be recognized, you can do what Sleep Token did with the masks and stuff like that. And they're not the first band to use masks or costumes in order to be found. But as a reviewer, just you need to know that if you want my opinion on your music, I will review your music for the price that I advertise, and that'll be fine. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to be like, no, I don't like this music. It sucks. It's bad. Don't make music anymore because that's clearly not constructive. Even if your music was objectively awful fundamentally in terms of like the way it was written or played or something like that, you can improve with feedback and it can be constructive. And to be honest, I would much rather review a song where there are fixable issues than something that just sounds totally fine, but it's kind of boring because of how perfect it is. You know what I mean? You can tell it's kind of soulless, just someone going through the motions. It's depressing when that occurs, and it happens more often than you'd think. So, yes, I review whatever you send through. Please make great music. Not for me, but for yourself. And have fun, even with the AI stuff, because I know that people send through AI music for me to review. Again, while I have issues with how things were sourced and how it was put together and stuff like that, people are making music regardless and they're kind of seeing what they can get around with. And I really appreciate when people are open about it, because sometimes I have people that send through stuff and it's AI music and you can tell it is, but they are saying, oh, it's their original music and they did everything and stuff like that. And it's just a bit lame. It's just a bit sad when that happens because it just feels like they're trying to trick you a little bit. You don't have to. It's okay to admit that you need to use AI in order to make music, but I think all of us would prefer, especially again with the controversy surrounding it, that if this is like your sort of starting off point, maybe just see if you can learn an instrument or two later on. Like maybe just Just try and do more of your stuff and less of the prompts over time, and just kind of work to a point where you can do what you can do yourself, whether it's acoustic or electronic using synths or plugins or like real instruments, like whatever you can do just to kind of make it so that we know it's you. Because when I get sent AI music, a lot of the time I don't know who it is, and I typically, honestly, and this sounds really kind of catty, but I forget about it 30 seconds later, because it's just there's nothing really exciting about it. It's a lot of the AI models, they put forward this music, and this is just based on what I've heard, where like again, it's fundamentally chord progressions, rhythms, etc. All that kind of stuff is fine, but it's unexciting because it's so safe. And I prefer the way that AI sounded when it first started getting shown to me, because it was objectively broken and there was something kind of cool about that and kind of quirky and like kind of edgy. But now it's polished and it's just kind of eh. So make even if you're gonna make AI music, just try and make fun stuff. Just try and make exciting stuff. But that's the video. I don't know what else to say. I've tried recording this like 50 times. And I feel like it's a good balance. So I'll catch you all in the next video. I think we'll have some live streams this weekend. But yeah, again, happy to review whatever you send through. Just make sure that you're proud of it. Okay? Spider hands out. And make sure that we know it's you.